Hey guys, I'm Kur. Today I'm here in Yosemite to hike the Mist Trail. The Mist Trail was closed, but I hiked the John Muir instead. And it's been quite a hike. Just got to the falls and I'm walking back. I was actually gonna record a video hiking up, but there was no way I was gonna do that. It's so steep. I was so tired all the way up. I had to stop a few times and grab some snacks. But I made it. It took me a little over 2 hours to get to the falls. But now I'm getting back. So I would like to talk a little bit about my journey with nutrition and how I chose it. There's a nice bird there. It's a blue jay. Whoops. I think he got an acorn. Oh, that's the acorn. So I was gonna tell you about my journey with nutrition and how I got started. So when I was a kid, I was overweight. I didn't know much about nutrition, and up to my teenage years, I would eat a lot of things that were high in calorie and low in nutrients. For example, I would get home from school and eat French bread, not the whole thing, but just like 2 or sometimes 1, those like rolls, and I would eat that with cheese, mayo, and mortadella. Mortadella is like a luncheon meat. It's like a ham, but has more fat in it. So I thought that, I don't know, looks like there's a bear here. People are yelling. I don't know what it is. So when I was a kid, I thought that if you can squish the bread really hard into a tiny ball, that's probably not a lot of calories because it's really small, right? That's what I thought. And then later on I found out that there are carbs, and even though food can be small, it can carry a lot of energy, a lot of nutrients. I also would eat something like popcorn, but not just 1 bag, 2 bags, watching a movie in the afternoon, and sometimes a little condensed milk with cocoa powder, and that was very caloric. It was basically sugar with sugar and flavoring. And by 14 years old, I was having problems like pre-diabetes, high cholesterol, even high blood pressure. And that's not normal for a kid. So I wasn't in good shape, and I was just 13 years old. I felt that I had to change, to make real changes in my life. And that's what I did. I looked up for a gym close by, and luckily I had a gym just like 5 minutes away from my home. I could walk and get to the gym in no time. That made it easy because I had to go to school the whole day, and at night when I came from school I would go to the gym. At the gym I met some of the most incredible characters in my teenage years, and one of them was the owner, Gustavo, which was a really nice guy, and we talked about a lot of things. He was a wise man, but mostly we talked about video games and nutrition, of course, nutrition and exercise. He himself was a bodybuilder way back then, and he got some really good knowledge to pass on, and he taught me how to exercise and a little bit, well, that was a fall. And he taught me a little bit about nutrition. So by 14, 15 years old, I was trying to learn everything I could about nutrition and exercise, and I had a dream. I wanted to study nutrition and be a sports dietitian, a dietitian that takes care of athletes, because I was becoming very involved with nutrition and exercise. In high school, the last year of high school, we had an assignment, and you were supposed to write about yourself in 10 years. And I saw myself living by the beach and being a sports dietitian. So I left high school with a dream, and this dream was studying nutrition in college. But I didn't have any money, and the course for nutrition was full-time. You would have to study in the morning and afternoons. And besides not having money, I needed a job. So how would I have a job and study at the same time if the time was full-time? So I found another college, and in this college they had tuition that wasn't a lot of money. So I was able to enroll and start in the second semester of 2010 back then. So I was fresh, 18 years old, and I started studying nutrition. And that was really cool because I not only learned how to be a dietitian and take care of people's health and diets, but also I learned how to be a good human being. That helped me a lot. That helped me shape who I am. And after 5 years, when I got my diploma in my hands, I just turned to the audience, I yelled, "Yeah!" And I was so happy. I was so happy because that was a dream come true. That was a way that I would be able to do something not for myself, but beyond myself. So my last research in school, a paper, was about insects, edible insects. And it was so interesting because I grew up so fearful of cockroaches and other animals. And by the end of college, I released a research about entomophagy, which is the habit of eating insects. 1 billion people in the world eat insects. It's pretty common to a lot of people, and maybe even you eat insects, but you don't know. Sometimes there is red dye that's natural, it comes from a beetle. In Mexico, some parts of Mexico, they wait for the rainy season to grab some ants from the ground, and with these ants you can make pizza and fry them, and there are all sorts of recipes. One day I was at the restaurant and I mentioned that I was studying insects, and a co-worker went to Mexico and brought me chapulines, which is a little cricket that they roast and they add lemon and salt and pepper, and it's delicious. So that was interesting. I haven't went all the way through to insects like some people do, like it's common in China as well and other countries in the South Asia. Insects are very good for the planet because you can eat the whole animal, head to tail, and they provide different sorts of nutrients. Depends on the insects or their stage of life. They provide carbohydrates or protein or even good lipids. So my goal right now is studying a master's degree and hopefully become a food scientist and help people that are suffering food insecurity, which is just a fancy name for hungry. There are so many people hungry in the planet, and even people that are not hungry and are obese, they lack a lot of nutrients. So that should be addressed. Another goal is to keep people informed and releasing courses to help people have better information and guide them. And help people to have information and guide them to make better choices regarding food. So these are my goals.